Harap, I see that you are there. You are ready?
Yes, I'm ready. So,
Excellent. Your turn, sir.
thank you. Let me share my screen. All right. Thank you, moderator. Greetings, everyone. I'm Hamid Arum Harahap, PhD student from Department of Agriculture, Universitas Andalas in Indonesia. So today I would like to present my research paper about meat, medicine, and fruits, paradox in the role of bat for the ecosystem services in Batang Toru ecosystem, North Sumatra, Indonesia. Sorry. So globally, there is a decline in pollinator populations in the world caused by habitat degradation and destruction. The bat is one of the wild animals in the pollination process, and the bats are threatened through human activity through the degradation of their habitat, but are still often hunted and also killed for being a pest to farmers because they are considered as a pest. And of the Tropodidae family or the fruit bats, half of the extant species were recorded as hunted in various tropic regions such as Asia, Africa, and Central and South America, including Indonesia, where this research conduct. And so bats sustaining the ecosystem through pollination, bats also have a very important and diverse role in providing additional ecosystem services, including the economic value for the local people, such as for durian farmers. Durian or Durian zibetinus, it has been so that there is a contribution of the bats to the success of the durian farming in the Indonesia. And although bats support national economy, unfortunately in Indonesia, their status is threatened due to deforestation. There is no study in our study area. There is no study about local farmers' perceptions towards bats in the study area. And to formulate a conservation strategy for the bat population, it is important to understand the drivers of farmers' action against bats. To tackle this problem, we conduct a study in the Batang Toru ecosystem North Sumatra. So in this paper, we mainly analyze the farmers' knowledge, perception, and awareness of the loss of the bat population in the Batang Toru ecosystem and its impacts to their durian production. So we also examine how demographic and economic variables influence the farmers' action against bats. So this is the study area. It's in the Batang Toru ecosystem in Sumatra Island, Indonesia. And the survey design consists of sampling techniques, the structure of the questionnaire and interview, which close-end questions, and we also conduct a household survey. To evaluate for the data analysis, for evaluating the influence of knowledge, perception, and awareness, and that action, we perform descriptive analysis, person correlation test, partiality test, simultaneous app test, and also ANOVA. And this used by the SPSS Statistic 26, and we also process the data using Microsoft Excel. And for our sampling technique, we have 102 households scattered in 70 villages. We use systematic sampling by selecting 17 people from each village. So this village selected around the forest, and they have source income from the durian farming. So our study found out that 97 of the respondents in this study are male, and there are three groups of the religion, which is the biggest one is Protestant Christianity, and then it's same with Islam, 45% Christian Christianity, and then 45% of the Islam, and then this one the Catholic, 10% of the respondents, and the ethnicity, there is indigenous Batak people, most of them 83%, and the Nias ethnic 16%, and 55% of the respondents still believe in the sacred forest, and a total of 30% of the farmers in this study admitted owning durian trees. So this is the respondents demographic by age. The biggest one from the group 41 until 50 years old, around 34%, followed by the 51 until 60 years old, around 28, and the least one is the youth population around 20 until 30 years old. So the knowledge of the farmers toward bat services in Batang Toru ecosystem, the biggest one is the local farmers understand that durian pollinated by the bats around 22% of the local farmers. But if we combine the local farmer who consume the bat for medicine and also for food, so it's total 25%. So it's mean the local farmer is more understand the bat as consumption or as food than as a pollinating. So this for the consumption, the purpose of the consumption for the medicine and also for the food. And the perception towards bats in agroforest. So also we asked the local farmers what is their perception when the bats come to their agroforest. So only 1% of them that said it's beneficial for their agroforest, and 26% of them claim that it's detrimental to their agroforest. And the biggest one is 73% of them they didn't know it's beneficial or detrimental. So it's indicate that there is a lack of knowledge of the bat ecosystem services for agroforest in study area. So we also asked the local farmers awareness if they're losing the bats for their durian. So only 10% claim there is no influence, and 13% of the local farmers claim that if they're losing the bat population, it will influence negative for their durian farming. But the biggest group is 77% of the local farmers claim that they're not aware if the losing the bats will affect or influence their agroforest farming. And then we also found out that 87% of the 13% of the local farmers are still hunting routinely for the bats, and 87% of them claim that they did not hunting for the bats. So we found out, we try to find out what is the correlation or the factor that correlates with the variables. So the dependent variables here are the farmer's knowledge, farmer perception, farmer awareness, and farmer actions. And the independent variables such as education, possession of hunting, belief in the possession of hunting tools, belief in the sacred forest, attend the forest training, do they ever attend or not, do they own durian tree, and amount of durian tree. We found out that belief in sacred forest correlate with farmer knowledge and farmer awareness. And then owning durian tree correlates with farmer knowledge, farmer awareness, and farmer action. And then amount of durian tree like correlates with the farmer's knowledge, awareness, and also farmer's action. And then we also perform partiality test to find out if every factors influence partially for the dependent variable. So we found out that farmers' knowledge for the independent variable for the independent variable, which we use farmers' knowledge, farmer perception, and farmer awareness, and to the dependent variable, the farmer's action. So we found out that our variables partially influence the farmer's action, like farmer's knowledge, perception, and awareness. And also we use the simultaneous F test. Do the variables simultaneously or together influence the farmer action? And we found out with the F test, which is bigger than F table, and then it's our result shows that our predictors such as farmer's knowledge and perception and awareness are significantly influence the farmer's action. And then we found out how big the influence with the R-square test, and we found out that 78.6% of the our variable tested are the knowledge and perception and also awareness, influence the farmers' action. So we found out that farmers in agroforest landscape are familiar with the existence of bats. However, their knowledge and awareness of the environmental services provided by bats are still very scarce. And most of the interview farmers per se do not know about the bat services. They didn't know whether the presence of bat was detrimental or beneficial for the cultivation. Also, the farmers don't understand that loss of the bat population would negatively affect their crops productivity. So these results indicate there is a lack knowledge of the bat services for the agroforest in the local farmers. And the community still had very little knowledge about the bat services. And a high percentage of people regarded bat as food rather than pollinators of the fruit. So there is a paradox here. They are understand of the bat services, but they understand more as a food than the pollinators. Most respondents said they enjoy consuming bats as delicious meal while drinking tuak or fermented drink from palm sugarcane tree and use them as traditional medicine to cure asthma. So this is also we found out in our study conduct in the COVID time or in 2020, and still people still regarding the bat as a medicine to cure asthma. The paradox of services provided by bats to farmers is worrying. More farmers regard bats as both predator than pollinators, as I said before. And our research found that around 25% of our respondents still consumed bats during the pandemic. And we found out that hunting of bats for consumption or selling purpose was positively influenced by farmers' knowledge about the bats ecosystem services. This finding indicates the lower the farmers' knowledge of the bats, the more negative the action they take. So our analysis support funding from the Lopez del Toro in 2010, Silva and Minor 2017, and Tarakini et al. In 2020 that suggests increased knowledge about wildlife ecosystem services positively influence people's action. Hence, bats' importance as ecosystem services providers must be taught to local communities. So to conclude my presentation, I would like to highlight some of our conclusion. The first one is actions to save the bat population is necessary to keep the ecosystem stable and to prevent agroforestry productivity from decreasing, especially the durian farming. We found out that in the Batang Toru ecosystem in general, farmer exhibited a negative action towards bat presence in their agroforest lands. 1 out of 7 farmers interviewed had hunted and killed bats in 2020. Local farmers killed the bat to provide for their consumption, whether for the food or for the traditional medicine. Bat services in paradox in Batang Toru ecosystem where local farmers appreciate bat more as provisioning services for their food and traditional medicine than regulating services for the pollinator of their durian fruits. Finally, we note that farmers who did not support belief in sacred forests, own durian trees, or a small number of durian trees lack knowledge about bat services in the agroforest landscape and saw negative action against these ecosystem services providers. Thank you. Back to you, moderator.
Thank you very much, Hamid. And now I've been trying